Good evening. You're watching The Last Word with me, Tanima Biswas, and our big focus today on the Mumbai hit-and-run case. Mihir Shah, the main accused, is now in a 7-day police custody. Producing him in court, the police said that the accused had changed his appearance in the car and tried to tamper with evidence. In another top development in the case, the Juhu pub, which served liquor to the underage accused, has been partly razed. While the opposition demands murder charges against the accused, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde removed Mihir's father from a party post and assured that the guilty won't be spared.
पहले रुको गया, उसके वो बोनेट पे हाथ मारा, फिर भी नहीं रुको। मेरा बच्चा रो रहा है, माँ मुझसे कहाँ से लगे तू? I can't
Mihir Shah produced in court today after his arrest last evening. Prime accused in the Worli hit-and-run case, he has been handed over to the police for 7 days for questioning. The police asked for the longest custody possible, but have for now got 7 days to ask him about the details of the crime, the attempted cover-up, and about who helped him. The police told the court the accused had tried to destroy the evidence by removing the number plate of the car. He had changed his appearance by shaving off his beard and moustache, and that his friends and family helped him hide for 3 days. Meanwhile, Eknath Shinde Sena has sacked Mihir's father from his post as an office bearer. Rajesh Shah was arrested for helping destroy evidence and helping his son escape. He was later granted bail. Speaking up 4 days after the incident, Shinde said the law would be equal for all.
इसमें कोई भी हो, कानून के सामने सब बराबर है, कोई बड़ा छोटा नहीं होता। और हिट एंड रन में जो दोषी है, जो गुनाहगार है, उनको बिल्कुल बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, उनके ऊपर कड़ी कार्रवाई हो जाएगी।
UBT Sena leader Aditya Thackeray has, however, questioned the delay in arrest of Mihir and is demanding that the accused be charged with murder.
I believe I have said this yesterday also in the assembly. This is not just a hit and run. This is not just an accident. This is a murder. Taking any victim, dragging her in the car for almost 2 kilometers and then reversing the car and dashing her again is an absolute outright murder. And I believe the strongest punishment in this country should be meted out to him.
The BMC swung into action today by demolishing the illegal extensions of the Juhu pub, where Mihir had been allegedly drinking before the accident. The excise department had sealed this pub yesterday for serving the underaged. Distraught family members of the deceased have been fighting for justice. They fear the rich and influential may escape accountability. But the hope is that the police will gather sufficient evidence to make a strong case against Mihir Shah and his accomplices. With video journalist Mahesh and correspondent Anuj, this is Radhika Ramaswamy for NDTV.
So the question we are asking tonight, now that the accused is in custody, will the victim family get justice? Why are we asking this question? Because it took the Mumbai police 3 days to arrest the main accused. The accused we are talking about is the son of a politician, not a hardened criminal. Also, his father, Shinde Sena leader Rajesh Shah, was granted bail the very same day as his arrest. Even the victim family has raised questions and showed skepticism about whether or not they will get justice. Joining me to discuss this further on the show is Shiv Shah, spokesperson of the Shinde Sena, also former chairperson of the Women's Commission in Maharashtra, Clyde Crasto, spokesperson for the NCP, Sana Rais Khan, lawyer. She is also part of the defense team in the Pune hit-and-run case. And Satya Mule, a Supreme Court lawyer. Thank you all for joining me on the show. First question to you, Shiv Shah. The action that we saw from the Chief Minister today of suspending or removing that particular leader from the party position, shouldn't it have come much earlier?
You see, good evening to all. You must recall that our CM, Eknath Shinde, he's known as the common man CM. And that is the reason for this particular episode which has happened, which was a tragic traffic accident. He came thrice on TV. First day, he assured everyone your viewers and people across Maharashtra and India that this case will set a precedent and justice will be swiftly given to set a precedent for all, that amongst law, everyone is equal. Howsoever powerful you are, law takes its own course. You see, his son, the brat, the irresponsible, rash young man, is the victim, is the accused in this particular manner. The victim will be given justice. And the fact that his father is a Shiv Sena member is just by mere coincidence. Let's not relate the two. There is no politics in this. Justice will be served. You are right. The police should have caught the accused a little earlier. But let us understand, Mumbai and MMR boast a population of approximately 4 crores. This man, this runner, had switched off all his phones, computers, his technical footprints were completely erased. The minute he started the phone, he was caught. There were 12 teams based on the CCTV footage that the police could recover to apprehend this man. About more than 15, his friends, family were interviewed, and that's how, within 60 hours, Mihir Shah was caught. As far as justice is concerned, it will be a watertight case. Whether it's a murder, whether a lesser charge is levied, as the investigation goes on, let me assure you, we can always add stringent sections. There is no two ways about it.
Okay, let me bring in Clyde Crasto at this point. Point taken, ma'am. Let me bring in Clyde Crasto at this point.
Yes,
Clyde, are you convinced by the rationale being given by Susibhen Shah? They're saying that they required technical surveillance and the time that it took to make that arrest was justified. Are you convinced by it?
Absolutely not justifiable, whatever explanation was given. Garima, the fact of the matter is, my Mumbai police, my Maharashtra police is much more technically sound than what has been told about them right now. We will need to know that first and foremost, Susibhen, I was not talking when you were talking. First and foremost, this has to be treated as murder. From the reports that we've got, that innocent lady was dragged for a couple of kilometers, then the car was run over her. How can anybody sit and justify what this man has done? And secondly, the Mumbai police has caught them, after about 72, 76 hours. I mean, what trace of alcohol are you going to find in this man? He has tried to erase all evidence that possible that was there. We have CCTV footage. We have to work on those CCTV footages. And let me tell you one thing. The fact of the matter that this boy's father is a member of the Shiv Sena, fair enough, he's been expelled and he's been removed. We are not here to glorify somebody that, we've done something great by expelling this man and the CM had come out and spoken. The fact is, you need to walk the talk now. It starts from now when that man is arrested. Mihir Shah is a murderer. From the reports that have come, he's actually run over this lady with no fault of hers. So why are we saying that if some stringent laws are applicable to, stringent laws have to be applicable on this Mihir Shah? And we have seen in the Pune case also how the samples were changed, how instead of a 2-member juvenile board, only 1 member gave bail to the boy in the Pune case. These things should not happen. The law should take its course, yes. But the Maharashtra government also, like Susibhen said, I like what she said, it will be an airtight case. I hope that it is an airtight case because this has to set a precedent, because all these guys, early in the morning getting drunk, walking on the street, all of us, we walk on the streets, it's like dangerous. It could be you, me, anybody walking on the street, and these guys wake up in the morning, sleep in the morning and go and kill somebody. We have to walk the talk. We are all parents. You can see that child there crying for a mother. Have a heart, yeah. Have a heart. Can't be insensitive.
Susibhen Shah, before I go to the other guests, Susibhen Shah, you are saying that the Chief Minister has been at the forefront right from day one. He has given a comment 3 times on the camera. Actually, if I can point out, so has the opposition. Aditya Thackeray also was speaking from day one. That is not any qualification or any quantification to judge anybody in this case. I want to know, the family has asked a very pointed question yesterday, that why hasn't the Chief Minister visited us yet? Your response to that?
I will tell you this. while the government, the head of the government is the Chief Minister, Eknath Shinde, by he talking sends a message very loud and clear to the administration, to the police administration, that justice has to be done. As far as Eknath Shinde visiting the aggrieved family, today, this evening, I with Milind Bhai Devra, who's the Rajya Sabha MP of our party, visited the family, assured them that not only a watertight case, but the best public prosecutor will be appointed. The case will be fast-tracked, and the entire nation.
But why
and
not the Chief
Maharashtra
Minister himself? Ma'am,
No,
when the family has said it also, when the family has
was
actually
emissary.
spelled it out, and if you are saying that the government is trying to assure them that they will get justice, why not the Chief Minister himself?
Tanima ji, our session is on. Tomorrow we have Vidhan Parishad election. And as an emissary of the Honorable Chief Minister, Milind Devra, our MP, visited the family. He spoke to them for half an hour, pacified them, and it is not the one-time visit. We will continuously, constantly monitoring the case and ensuring that justice will be done. Now, as far as the murder charge is concerned, let me tell you this. There are these conflicting viewpoints. We must understand this, that a case can never be investigated or decided on a TV channel. Now, when we say that it has to be a murder, there has to be mens rea. There has to be intention and also guilty mind. Let me complete. Now, if you say that there is investigation and on, and if required, it will be placed. But should we then say that he was under the influence of drugs or under the influence of alcohol? Then can we prove that he was in frame of mind, he had a guilty mind, he had a criminal intent to kill this lady? So
Right, okay. I have to give, before I also have two other guests, ma'am. Before I go to them, quick rebuttal by Clyde Crasto, quick 30-second rebuttal because I have to bring in the other guests. Please go ahead.
I'll tell you quickly, if you ask me a question that how can you say that whether he was on drugs or under influence of alcohol, if you arrest him after more than 76 hours, how are you going to find any trace? That's the whole point we're trying to say. He should have been arrested much before.
All right. Let me bring in the legal voices in this show. Both of you will get your chance. Please, let me bring in the legal voices on this show.
The conclusion comes in a different way.
Let me bring in the legal voices on this show. Sana Rais Khan, there has in fact been two back-to-back cases. You are in the defense team of one of the cases, the Pune Porsche case. Why should there not be stringent sections added to the FIR? Shouldn't that be done in order to send a strong message regarding such cases? We also know that the Pune police is actually pushing for a petition to try the juvenile there as an adult accused. And in this case also, the opposition in Maharashtra has called for adding murder sections, section 30, of course, under the BNS, a new section, the applicable section there, to be added to the FIR. So why exactly should that not be done to send a strong message to society?
See, what has happened is definitely an unfortunate incident, but directly declaring him guilty before he's tried by the court would be again even more unfortunate, because the cardinal rule of criminal justice is that a man is presumed to be innocent until he's proved guilty. And now, so far as the new laws are concerned, which is section 106 subclause 2 of the BNS, now the lacuna which existed in the previous provisions have actually already been taken care of by making severe penalties, by including severe penalties, which includes imprisonment for up to 10 years and 7 lakh fine, targeting accused who flee accident scenes without promptly reporting to the authorities. So, of course, there are stringent provisions, stringent measures which are definitely set out as per the new provisions also. But apart from that, in the absence of any blood test report, in the absence, since he's been arrested after 3 days, of course, in the absence of any blood test report to even declare that he was under the influence of alcohol or drugs at the time of the incident, in the absence of any clear CCTV footage at the time of the incident showing him ramming the car, and in the absence of material evidence on record to declare him guilty just by stating that, okay, he's definitely done it just because the background he comes from, is again unfortunate considering the present situation, because of course the matter is sub judice. Me as a lawyer, of course, I'll view it with a pragmatic approach. After seeing the evidence, after seeing the, of course, FIR, after seeing the documents, of course, I can decide otherwise also.
Okay.
But of course, considering the materials on record and everything, only then we can again pass a fair judgment or even make a fair comment. But to declare him guilty of charges of murder would be absolutely unfair.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Satya Mule, to you now, both in this case as well as in the Pune Porsche case, these two cases have a lot of similarities. In both cases, very young individuals are involved as accused. Even there are influential parents involved. They try to shield. Of course, according to the police, in both cases, there was a cover-up bid. There was an attempt to pin the blame on someone else. So where are we failing in terms of the law and order machinery? Should these cases now, be tried in a certain way in order to send out a strong message?
Definitely, there are similarities. And if we have to answer the question of whether there will be justice served to the victim, we have to look at the problem in a larger perspective. As of today, we can definitely say that in 2024 beginning, the Supreme Court had revisited the judgment or the law, which dictated that how far a bar or a pub or a wine shop should be far away from schools, colleges, residential colonies. And political intent, the lack of political will is also responsible for this, which drives the the police machinery. But apart from that, if excise department is not going to implement laws in context to the functioning of bars and pubs, because in this case, in Bombay hit and run case also, this particular gentleman was served hard liquor while he is not yet completed 25 years of age. Same was the case in the Pune case. Now, having said this, the bar was functioning way beyond the permitted limit of 1:30. The question arises, if the government has extended the time limit from 11:30 to 1:30 without having the machinery in place to observe the timings, without having machinery in place to enforce the rules and laws, then definitely this particular limit, the Mumbai or Pune or any other metropolis in India doesn't deserve this kind of a relaxation if the government fails to implement this kind of rules. No doubt, the people are watching. If people are going to see wine shops, bars and pubs beside residential areas and people drinking and driving at night in a very rash manner, then giving promises of a fast-track justice, which in fact is not within their purview but in the purview of judiciary, then political leaders are failing the masses. This is a complete misleading statement. What happens is that the police should have been able to track down this individual prior to 60 hours. No blood samples of his will now reveal whether he was intoxicated by alcohol or any other drugs. But also, there is definitely a planned attempt that was successful.
Right,
so
Mr.
having
Mule,
said
also
this,
maybe a
larger
need for
perspective has to be taken
laws
into consideration.
Yes, also maybe the need for a more stringent laws. For example, in this case itself, the father of the accused, who's of course a politician, as we have discussed, was granted bail on the very same day that he was arrested for non-cooperation by the in the case. Now, that does not instill any confidence on anybody. Of course, the victim's family is going to be disheartened by that. So, isn't there a need for stronger laws to begin with?
Yes.
Let's say we want to curb drunken driving. Even in that case...
Yes, definitely there is. Yes, definitely there is a need for more stringent laws, because in case of drink and drive or hit and run related incidents, there is complete lack of fear in the minds of the wealthy who are driving the hugely valued cars, or people who are business people or political leaders. Very recently, since last 2-3 months, we have seen hit and run accidents or rash driving incidents across the state of Maharashtra as well as some prominent cities of India. No doubt there has to be stringent measures in place, such as cancellation of licenses, as well as moving of bars and wine shops away from residential areas, as well as school, as well as other places such as religious worship places. Wine shops definitely should be moved away. Implementation of excise related rules should be made more stringent, because there is a hue and cry among public that there is a tremendous amount of corruption in place, or otherwise this kind of relaxations cannot be enjoyed by the people who are hand in glove or who are culprits and which are leading to this kind of incidents. If we have to curb this kind of incidents, no doubt the voice of people has to be heard and the politicians have to show strong political will.
Right. Let me bring in Clyde Crasto at this point. Mr. Crasto, what constructive action will you take or your party will take as an opposition in order to ensure that there is a strong deterrence in place in such cases? As we mentioned, there have been two back-to-back high-profile cases in Maharashtra within a few weeks. People are, of course, asking what's going on, and there's a national outrage in both these cases, following which, of course, we have seen such actions being taken place. Now, are you planning to raise this issue in the assembly? As I asked, to begin with, what constructive role is the opposition going to play in such cases?
Not just the Maharashtra Assembly, this will also be raised in the Parliament. These issues, see, we can politicize, like Susi said, that very rarely do I agree with the opposition, but like she said, this whole issue cannot be solved on a television debate. That's a fact. Therefore, the role of the government comes into play. They need to make sure that this case is airtight. The fact of the matter is that this boy was arrested so late. Now, we spoke about his father getting bail. If the police had presented the case properly, the father would have not got bail. I mean, everybody is talking about it, including the reporters, and I'm sure you all are reporting the facts to us, that the father was involved in destroying all the evidence. So then how come the father got bail? Because the case wasn't presented properly. Therefore, it is our role, not just me or Susi Ben or just the Chief Minister, whom we are now saying that he came 3 times on and we said strict action will take. It's the role of everybody to make sure that we raise these questions and the law has to take its course. And this has to set an example. Look what happened in Nasik. Look what happened in Pune in the Porsche case. After that, a constable also was killed on his bike. Across the country, these rich brats are going, not sleeping late in the night, going and riding the cars into, somebody else and killing them left, right, and center. So we have to set an example. This case right now is the right point. Before anything further happens like this, we have to take strict action and make sure there's no political influence. There should be no political influence in any of these cases. These culprits should not get the loose end. That's what the point is.
All right. I will have to give the last word to Susi Ben Shah in this case. Ma'am, as everyone, all the guests there, you heard all of them. They have pointed out, and we have also, of course, been reporting on it. There are a few things which have happened in this case which has shaken the confidence of the victim family, as we mentioned, but also of the people who are watching this or following this case very closely. It took 3 days for the police to hunt down the accused, a young man who has no criminal past, according to few people, several people in fact, who have voiced this, that it shouldn't have taken so much time. Secondly, the father of the accused in this case getting bail on the very same day, that may be a legal loophole, but nonetheless, again, this does not, justice when it's delivered, it also needs to be seen as delivered. So that question is also being asked as to whether this is fair. These are questions which the victim's family is also raising. What is the Maharashtra government going to do now in order to assure and tell the victim family to keep the faith?
Tanimaji, thank you. And you are right. It was an accident by a rash, irresponsible, negligent man. You cannot run away from that. It does not matter which political party. As I said, it was a mere coincidence that his father from the Shiv Sena, in which he stands suspended and expelled from his post as the Upaneta. Now, as far as the case is concerned, prima facie sections were laid of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, because that was, it seemed. When the investigation is ongoing, whether it be investigating 12 to 15 of his friends, family members, going to the pub, checking the CCTV, right? It will have to be established that there was a guilty mind, there was a criminal intent, there was mens rea. It's only then can you ask for murder. Trust me, Mumbai police is as good, if not better than Mossad. Give them an opportunity. The message has gone to the police, the administration, that there is a political will, there is an administrative will, that justice is done. And let me assure you, this case will serve a precedent as to how swiftly and efficiently the legal system is moving. There will be the best public prosecutor, no effort spared to fast track this case, and ensuring that the family is in peace with the way, in a most bizarre, gruesome. I have no doubt about it. I felt so sorry myself, so betrayed by this young man, the way he behaved and he drove, that when I saw the girl crying, I mean, as a mother, I was really, truly ashamed at the way this young man behaved. But saying this, again, justice will be delivered. Give us a chance.
Right.
Let's
So the
investigate properly. Let us investigate properly, and you will see it's a full-proof, watertight charge sheet. Let me assure you that.
Okay, so the Maharashtra government, of course, assuring that this case will be fast-tracked and it will be a watertight charge sheet. We'll have to leave it there for now. Shiv Sena, Clyde Crasto, Sanarais Khan and Satya Mule, thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight.